Hello, Seeker. Welcome back to the show. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to let you know about a really fun new way that you can get a free ticket to the next Get Unblocked chakra ceremony. So the Get Unblocked chakra ceremonies is a chakra clearing and an energy upgrade that will leave you feeling rejuvenated, closer to spirit, cleared, grounded, and more in your power, more able to manifest and experience more joy and pleasure and abundance in your life. So here's the deal. So to get the free ticket, what you need to do is fill out a brand new connection survey, a little get to know you questionnaire that I have created. It is right down below in the show notes. You will see it there. Once you go through that survey, it'll take approximately 10 minutes. You will be guided to instructions on how to get your ticket for the next Get Unblocked ceremony. I really, really appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your time giving me your honest answers, letting me know what's going on. This is an anonymous survey that will help me more deeply understand where you're at and what type of content will serve you best. So again, get your free ticket to the next Get Unblocked ceremony by filling out a short survey, and just know that I appreciate it so much, my love. Thank you so much. Check the show notes below for that, and let's get on with the episode. Hey, Seeker, welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. Hello, Seeker. Hello, hi. My name is Talia. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you're here for another fresh pressed episode and everything we are going to dive into today. So today's episode is all about how the universe is calling you. And there's a few really juicy things we need to talk about here. So I'm breaking down the 5 things that the universe is calling you toward. And this is going to help you manifest, step into purpose, amplify your power, feel so much better in life, feel more magnetic. So if you've made your way to this episode, this is for you, and this is a divine message. And these are 5 things that the universe is calling you toward. If you are ready for your next level, like you're in this space where you're like, oh, I'm ready for this next level, this episode is for you, and it's going to be very spirit filled because that is a huge underlying theme in this episode. So with that being said, before we dive into that, I wanted to let you know that on Thursday, June 1st, it is the Thursday after this episode is released, I am doing this month's Get Unblocked, and it's all about clearing your energy, opening and activating up your chakras to connect deeper with spirit. So this is my monthly chakra clearing, and we have changed it up a little bit in the last few months, where every month now has a focus, has a theme. And for June, it is connecting deeper to spirit, to your spirit team, activating that new level of receptivity and higher consciousness to connect deeper to everything that we're talking about in this episode: spirit, your spirit team, God, universe, your flow of life, your highest self, connecting into that something more energy and really activating that. So in this Get Unblocked, it is about an hour and a half. It's a chakra clearing. It's an energy activation, all focused on connecting you deeper to spirit. I can already feel it is going to be so powerful, and I can't wait to see you there. Make sure to check the link in the show notes right below. You'll see it right under the description of this show. Get Unblocked, connecting deeper to spirit. I cannot wait to see you in this beautiful ceremony. So if there is anybody that wants to join but can't attend live, you will get a replay sent out after within 24 hours. And you also get the chakra clearing as as an isolated audio track. Every time you sign up, you get this as a gift and as a way that you can replay it with just a chakra clearing. So if at any time you want to go deeper in and you don't want to have to rewatch the workshop, you can actually download the audio and just have that forever in your back pocket that you can use at any time. So excited for all of that. I can't wait to see you in Get Unblocked. Okay, so in this episode, we're talking about how the universe is calling you into your something more. And all of this really starts by creating a deeper connection with spirit. So that's where I want to start today, is creating your unique connection to spirit. When the universe is calling you, when God is calling you, it's not just calling you, and I'm going to get into your purpose, into higher receptivity. We're going to touch on that through this episode, and that's coming up. But it's calling you to connect. Your spirit team is calling you to connect. And why I can say that with such certainty, given how many people are listening to this, if you've been guided here, if you're on this path, your spiritual connection will end up being it's like your anchor, your life force, your grounding, your home base. And the more you develop your unique connection with spirit, the easier you can tune into your spirit guides, your intuition, what's next for you, your purpose, the frequency of abundance and success and what you're meant to be doing in this life, and the healing and the, awakening. It all comes through that connection to spirit. And it's funny because with my one-on-one clients and in everything I do, you would say that I teach manifestation is one of the things, because Talia Joy Manifestation, Awakening Her podcast, manifest the life you're meant for, one-on-one clients. What are you manifesting? What are you here for? But really what I do, and this is like, breaking the third wall. It's like really what I do behind the scenes is I am helping you to create your connection to spirit. Because at the end of the day, when you have that, you can tune in to what is right for you. You can tune in to the frequency of abundance and love and healing and really what is going on in this experience and how to make the most of it. And that comes through connecting deeper, creating your unique connection to spirit. So I think it's really important to find your unique connection, because when you find your unique connection to life, you start to be able to see the bigger meaning behind things, get a higher perspective on, like, I experienced this, and even though it was really traumatic, it actually gave me these certain qualities or empathy or the drive to help others. And so maybe this was part of my story. And, when people have a strong connection with God or universe, they could say like, God, I didn't understand why you gave me this path, but now I see it's to help other people. Or, universe, this roadblock felt so frustrating, but now I actually see it was a detour in the right direction. This is us connecting with something greater, starting to find that faith and that trust in the bigger picture, which is also something I'm getting to in a moment. So there are lots of books, right? Spiritual texts like the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, there's Course in Miracles, the Tao Te Ching. There's a lot of different texts that connect people to what they would call God or source. There's also feeling nature. There's inspiration. As I always say, to be inspired is to be in spirit. There's feeling your guides and your angels. So I'm not here to describe to you what spirit is, even to describe what it is to me. I mean, I share stuff like that, but your connection is going to be different than mine. And whether you're connecting to an ancestor or a loved one, or, as I just said, angels, spirit guides, something higher, oneness, one mind, consciousness, nature, life, whatever it is, I really think it's so important. And I know if you're here, you are a seeker and you probably already have this understanding, or at least you're curious. It brings it out of us and into something bigger. It takes it off our shoulders. It really, I feel like it just accelerates this whole life and brings color to everything. My connection to spirit is everything. And it's had to be this unique thing because I wasn't brought up in any one religion. My grandparents were Christian, living, in Canada. It's a Christian country. That was what a lot of people are. I explored Buddhism for quite a while. The Tao Te Ching, written by Lao Tzu, is really the text that I feel like would be the one I would master for a lifetime if there was one text, but I really do feel like it's creating that unique connection, and it doesn't need to have a name. And in fact, the Tao says the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. Then what is it? The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal named. The unnameable is the eternally real. So Wayne Dyer says it like, when you name it, you've lost it, basically. So it's the unnameable Tao. Tao is like life force. It's the flow is or the way is how it's loosely translated. So it's really about, in my opinion, often when you give it a name, you lose it, because it's not, when I say God, it means something different to everybody. So when I'm describing spirit, spirit might mean something different to everybody. So it doesn't mean you can't give it a name, but all I'm saying is it doesn't have to be which one do you believe in. It's you finding your divine connection to life is the way that I look at it. So as I venture deeper into this episode, I'm already feeling this is territory that I dive into, but I also am never here to tell anyone what to believe or think. And it's, one of the most controversial topics in all of time that people fight over, right? Is which God is right. So if anything I say rubs you the wrong way, or you start to go like, I don't want to hear this. This is messing with my mind. I don't agree. Totally permission to like stop listening or to just release what I say, that because this isn't about me telling you what to believe. I'm more encouraging you to find that unique connection. And if saying God makes you feel so connected and so held and so loved, then that is the name for you. But if you don't have a name, if you can't name it, focusing on that feeling of spirit, that feeling when there's a coincidence or you get a 111 or something feels like, oh, wow, that was magical. You see an eagle or a butterfly lands on your shoulder and you're just asking for a butterfly sign and you go like, ooh, this feels good. That's all it is. It doesn't need to have a name. And in fact, sometimes when you name it, you've lost it. So don't feel that pressure to give it a name if that's not what's natural. But that being said, if it has a name for you and it anchors you into that love, then use that. So some people find, great connection in calling it God or Buddha or Allah or whatever it is. But you can call it source, spirit, universe, God, creator, Tao, all those things. As I say, nature, life force. To me, that's what it is it's representing life force energy, whatever it is that created us, whatever intelligence and higher consciousness or organization that is going on that has created the cosmos and created life in this balance and nature in this balance and the abundance and the trees and the flowers, whatever it is that created the zebra, that's what I'm referring to. So for you, it's creating that wonder that, wow, this is magical. And I don't even have to figure it all out. The fact that I look at a tree or I look at a leaf and all the veins in the leaves look like when I'm in an airplane and all the veins of water are flowing into the ocean. And I see these like beautiful coincidences and the magic of how a sunrise or a sunset feels. That's all you need to connect to, is that beauty of life, that loving, nurturing energy, and to see that you are part of nature. You are part of that flourishing energy. You're not separate from it. So as I said, I deeply resonated with the Tao Te Ching when I first discovered it. And it's really interesting because the author Lao Tzu wrote it to present a way of life intended to restore harmony and tranquility this was in China in around 400 BC. And there was, a bunch of drama going on in the kingdom. And he was sort of a philosopher, a thinker. He wrote this Tao Te Ching, which is these short verses, to basically help people to live in harmony with life, allowing nature to take its course, allowing life to happen. So one of his main quotes you may have heard is, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. And it's because that's what he came here to teach, is we don't need to fight and force. We can live in harmony with life. So even within that, even if the Tao in general, you're not now a Taoist and that's it and you've changed, that now that's your label. It's exactly that, finding your way to be in harmony with life, in harmony with what is. So you can also connect to, the universe is calling you to connect to deities, if that's what resonates with you, gods, goddesses, archangels, as I was talking talking about, ascended masters, teachers. You can connect to loved ones that have passed, feel their energy, feel their guidance, whatever it is for you. In this time in your life, the universe is calling you to connect into something more. That will be such a big part of your manifestation journey. Even if you consider yourself already connected, spiritual, you're buddy-buddy with your guides, there's always more room to live in harmony with life, to live in harmony with this guidance. So the first step of intuition is becoming aware of your intuition. And then it's like starting to listen to it more. And you start noticing when the ego and the intuition and they're battling. And as you ascend, you just become one with your intuition, where everything you're doing is through that intuitive lens. The reason I say that is because even something you already do or know to do can be practiced deeper to connect to the flow of life, because that frequency of source is also the frequency of love. It's the frequency of abundance, of healing, of joy, of wonder, of excitement, of connection, which is what you're really looking for. So I really do believe that. And if I'm saying all this and it makes you feel scrunchy and it makes you feel uncomfortable and you don't want to like pick a thing, the frequency of love will get you to the exact same place. So tuning in to the love that is in your heart, to connection with people, to your generosity, to your gratitude. And then even if you're like laying on the grass one day, feeling like the love coming from the planet or the love coming from life for you, if that is something you can access. So all of that is your connection budding, and it's going to grow and change, but it's going to be that lifeline. So I often say something at the beginning of every day and just say, guides, angels, universe, guide me to have the most fantastic day, to serve others, to create abundance, to create fulfillment. And I will watch. I am being guided. I am here. Thank you so much. And it's something very loose like that. It doesn't have the same wording, but it's basically saying, guides, angels, universe, help me to be of service today, to have a joyful day. I'll be here awaiting your miracles. And then I watch for things like a rainbow or a butterfly or the sun coming out and feeling that love, feeling that connection. It's not just $5,000 in my lap. It's actually about feeling that deeper connection. It starts to grow your faith and trust. So the last thing I'm going to say about your creating how the universe is calling you to a deeper connection and creating that, another way to connect with spirit, flow, all of this is nature, because nature is life. Nature is spirit physically manifested. God created nature, the forest, the flowers. Like, have you seen a passion flower? Like, oh my goodness, the animals, the speckles, the crazy dances that the bird of paradise does, the way that the ocean looks when there's like an ice cream sunset, I call them, when it's all pastels, and all of these insane things that come from nature. Nature is the universe physically manifested. Like, it's a blessing. It is abundant. It is mysterious. It is intelligent. It is healing. So it's a great place to feel connection and clarity. And it could be going out on your deck with the sun on your face. It could be going for a walk in the trees or to the beach. It could be going away on a longer hike or camping or whatever. Just touching a tree connects you to spirit, connects you to nature. So for you, it might be nature. That's where you find spirit. That's what feels the most comfortable. And that's what it's calling you to do. The universe is calling you to connect deeper into the frequency of the universe, because from that place, you understand abundance. You already feel it. You feel purpose. You feel joy. You feel gratitude before the things come into your life. And this is so big, to feel that connection to spirit before the things. Because often we go like, oh, when the thing comes into my life, then I'll be grateful for the universe. But that's not the way it works. We create our connection to spirit. We feel that frequency of love and of abundance and of possibility. And what this starts to do is to grow our trust and faith, which is the next point I want to talk about. So the universe is calling you to have more trust and faith. The universe is calling you to have more trust and faith in life, in yourself, in divine timing, in spirit itself. It's calling you to drop your shoulders a little bit and trust in divine timing. So if this is hitting you right now and you're like, yeah, this one's definitely for me, the universe is calling you to relax and understand that it's happening. The goals you have are happening, and you are growing into the person who can fully embody them. So if you're calling out and you've wanted, a new business or to have more success in your business, you've been growing into the person that can energetically hold that success. If you've been wanting more money, if you've been wanting love, you've been growing and healing and morphing into the person that can hold that capacity. So you have to understand that and not just focus on what's not here yet, but understand and have more trust in divine timing. So the universe is definitely calling you to have that trust and have that faith. And I say this a lot on the show, that having faith is not just trusting when things are all going well. It's easy to have faith when everything's going well, but can you have faith when you can't possibly see how they could work out? That's the time to trust in the divine timing. And one thing that's coming up right now to share with you is that often for us seekers, we have big dreams and we see like $100,000 months, or completely healing our body, or creating a retreat center, or, moving across the world and living in Hawaii or something else. And we're seeing the fullest expression of a desire. But along the way to getting to that fullest expression is actually the growing and the healing and the work, not just the work in an arduous way, but also like connecting deeper into spirit, finding your grounding, finding your power, cultivating your power, your authentic self, your home base. And we can't just say, I want this, and expect it to come in tomorrow, because we haven't yet grown into that person, if that makes sense. So trusting that, even with me with retreats, I've been sharing with you guys over time, I know I'm meant to do retreats, but I also give myself grace that I am turning into the person who holds that space and holds retreats for people and holds transformative experiences in person. I'm growing into that person. I can't expect myself to be that overnight, because it still freaks me out. I've still got stuff coming up, and that's okay. I've seen the book in my mind forever, but until this last year in January, I wasn't ready to write it. And being hard on myself and going, I should have written 5 books by now. No, because they would have been shit compared to this masterpiece. What I'm writing now was not ready to come through me, but I saw it and I shoulded myself about it. I said it should be happening. I should be writing. So to have more trust and faith in the process, and maybe even telling yourself, I'm doing it. So the universe is asking you to not just say it's not happening for me, or it hasn't happened yet, or I want it, but to actually say, this is the process. I am in it right now. Right now is me in the process of calling in love, or manifesting more money, or healing. We always put this outside of ourselves. Have more trust and faith in the process that you're doing it right now. Instead of asking, when am I going to be successful? When is it going to happen? Say to yourself, I am doing it right now. My vibration is changing. I'm learning more things. I'm feeling better. I'm incrementally upgrading my life, my faith, my trust, my everything. This is it happening. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't have to also take a long time, but you are in it right now. So the universe is asking you, is calling you to have more faith and trust in the process. That is something I didn't understand, because I saw online and heard all these, stories of people that like put $5,000 on a vision board and bam, it came. And it was so frustrating. So I'm like, I want all those big things now. Why isn't it happening for me? I wasn't yet in that energetic capacity. So I can manifest something bigger and quicker now than I could 5 years ago, because I have cleared so much within me. I'm in such a different energetic place that I can actually manifest more now. And then in 10 years from now, it's going to be even more. And in 20, it incrementally upgrades. And that is what you're doing. You are in it right now. So the universe is calling you to have more trust and faith in it. Life is calling you to say, chill, relax. I've got this. Be a willing participant in this journey. I just heard, be a willing participant, would ya? because it's not broken. It's not happening to you or for you. It is happening for you, and it's up to you to start to see that. So the universe is calling you to have more trust and faith, and that will help you manifest so much faster. I post on Instagram sometimes about how nothing kills the manifestation mojo like the phrase, "it's not working." Like, I'm serious. That could often be the thing that's stopping you. And we go, no, but I'm saying that because it's not working. It's like, I know, but it ends up not working because you keep saying that. It's like, no, but I'm saying that because it's not working. And we do this. I always say to my clients, it's the chicken and the egg. And when you arrive in the chicken and the egg situation, it's always your energy first. So life might have handed you shitty things, and that isn't always just your fault and you did that and you called that in. Not at all. Things happen, but how you move through them and what you get to know about this lifetime is the thing that makes the difference, meaning having that trust and faith that you are being initiated and moving into a much better chapter and lighter chapter in your life, that all those signs keep pointing that way. And that is the direction you're moving. You're a seeker, you're a light worker, you're a light seeker, and it is happening for you. And so not looking at the things that haven't happened yet, more looking at the things that have, and to have that trust and faith that you are moving into higher ground. And I just want to say right here, I didn't really plan on saying this. I often do this when I'm thinking about, say, healing my body, and then I have a pain day. And it's like, I can either say, I'm still manifesting, I'm still healing, even as I have a flare up. It's just telling me something. Is it about the wheat I ate, or is it about the emotions I'm carrying, or am I closer to my cycle and so I'm more achy, or like, it's telling me, showing me something. Either I can flip into it's not working, or it's still working, and this is powerful and showing me something. So just go there with me. If you were to just settle into it's not working, and I go, yeah, it's not. Like, how hopeless does that feel? You're never going to manifest something. Yeah, you're never going to manifest it. Like, we can go that way, but why? It feels so shitty. I never believe that I'm not going to heal my body, ever. Because what then? That's like the end. That's like the darkness. That's the dark side. So the universe is calling you to have more trust and faith in the process, and to trust that you are in it right now. Tell yourself, I am in the pocket. I am doing it. This is what manifesting and learning how to manifest and healing and rising and awakening, this is what it looks like right now. I'm in it. Okay, so the next thing that the universe is calling you for is for a deeper connection to your intuition, which kind of blends in the connecting to spirit and also the trust and faith. But the universe is calling you to trust your intuition more often, to sense it more often, even potentially to learn about intuition a little bit more, and have that deeper faith and trust in your inner guide. So in this time, we are going through a massive global change. I talk about this. You are awakening on purpose, no matter if you're 20 or 70, or you've been doing this, for a couple years, or you've been doing this for 30 years, no matter what, it is perfectly on time that you are a seeker, that you're on this side of life, that you seek spirit, that you are into energy or healing, and stuff's calling you. It's so funny right now. It's 1:11. That's awesome. So there's no mistake about that. And in this journey of becoming this light that you truly are and what you're meant to be, your intuition is a massive piece, because it's the way that spirit talks to you. There are so many episodes on this podcast about intuition, and there will be many more in the future, because it's one of my favorite things to talk about. If you want to hear more about it, just search Awakening Her Podcast Intuition or something in Google, and different episodes will come out, or you can just scroll down. There's lots of them. This is your inner guide speaking to you. This is your soul, the universe giving you direction. So as you connect deeper to spirit, and even, as we're talking about nature, or you're asking for guidance from your grandma or Archangel Michael or something like that, as you're connecting, say you're in the forest and you're just connecting to the trees, and all of a sudden you get this feeling of well-being, or you hear a voice within kind of saying like, it's safe to receive, or maybe you feel love running through your body, or your mind starts going like, whoa, I'm really grateful for my life. There's this energetic shift that happens when you're in nature, when you're connected to spirit, when you're in, maybe it's deep prayer or deep meditation or a moment of gratitude where it feels like your heart swells, your energetic field actually grows. And in these moments, we get whispers, we get nudges, and we also get these nudges outside of these moments, but this is a beautiful way that you know what it's like to be walking through the forest and get an idea or have a realization or have a breakthrough, or you're meditating, or you're swimming in a lake, or you're, laying out in the sun, or you're whatever, you're in silence. We know what this is like, and we get this nudge that comes through. And that is our intuition offering us next steps. So I know clients that get flashes of like, I want to help people. Like, you're here to help people, but they don't yet have a business. And they're like, I just keep getting this nudge. I am here to help people. That is spirit guiding you into your next chapter, giving you your initiation. I talked about that a few episodes about the initiation and what you're being initiated into. That comes through your intuition, through nudges, through whispers saying like, work with this person, or read this book, or go for a walk, or, create a weekend alone for yourself to get away. It is an inside nudge. It's an inside whisper, and that is your intuition. So in addition to that, we also get intuitive nudges about certain things like, oh, Costa Rica keeps coming up, or I feel like I'm meant to go on a retreat with this person, or I'm meant to visit a certain place, or you are faced with a decision and you get like a really strong feeling one way or the other, right? This is intuition. This is spirit guiding you. And I feel like we need to move past any doubt. And I'm definitely not the person to convince you that there's an intuition. I'm more the person to help you activate deeper levels and to trust it, because it just is there. Spirit is guiding you through these inner thoughts, these awarenesses, these nudges, these realizations. We hear, we sense, we feel, we know, we have, those gut feelings. This is intuition. So connecting deeper to it in this time in history and in where you are in your life and how you want so much more freedom and abundance and joy, your intuition has been trying to call you and guide you. And so the universe is asking you to pay attention deeper to your intuition, especially in this time. The next thing I want to say on intuition is we learn to trust it. We learn to work with it. We learn to live with it and work along with it all the time. But it often guides us into what seems like scary places. And I don't mean like dark alleys. Your intuition will guide you away from dark alleys. But no, it gets you to take leaps. So it might start nudging to start your own business. Or like I say with a client that's like, I don't know, I just have this nudge to help people, but everything in them is like, who am I to help people? And I don't have a PhD in this. And, I just want to help even one other person to not suffer the way I did. And that is your intuition, and it's scary. And so many times when I say to people like, offering different ways we can start getting out there, it's like, no, I'm scared, right? And we have to learn to listen more and faster, not to force it, but the sooner we listen, the sooner we get to move through into way more abundance and freedom and purpose and meaning. So the universe is calling you to listen to your intuition, and it's not always going to make sense. And if we are wanting more money and then our intuition guides us to like give a homeless guy $5, we might go like, how does that help me make more money? But we have to trust, because in that circumstance, Spirit is showing you that you can be generous with money, and money will generously flow to you. So it's trying to show you the law of giving and receiving by having the nudge to be like, oh, I want to donate, or I want to be really generous this Christmas with a charity, or give this, buy a lunch for a homeless woman, or just something. But we go, oh, I can't because I don't have a lot of money. That nudge is trying to teach you, like, no, we don't pinch off our generosity when things are tough. We actually believe in abundance and believe that we can still give within reason. I'm not saying give away all your money, but it's trying to teach you the law of giving and receiving in that circumstance. So we really just need to start trusting. And I know people that have been like, I was drawn to go to this particular place. And they're like, I have no idea why. So I started looking at places and then once they got there, they realized, or they had a life-changing journey, but it made no sense until they did it. I've told you guys this. I have been told intuitively to shut down programs that I'm starting to launch, or to quit memberships that I was running, and things that I'm like, how does this help me make money or become more successful? It feels like closing things down is the opposite of what I actually need more people to come in, is what I used to think years ago. And now I recognize that those things were built out of either something that I needed something different. I needed more fluidity, or it just wasn't quite right, or things built on lack. Like, I need to make money, so I need to put out a program, and I just refuse to do that anymore. And so when the universe tells me to take a break or to not put out anything, I listen to it. I don't react in scarcity anymore to go like, oh, but how am I going to make money? Even if I'm like, I've got this bill and this bill and this bill, how am I going to make money if I'm closing things down? I just trust. And that's just one example, right? I have a client who is looking for a partner, and she was on all these dating apps, or maybe just one, I'm not sure, but she just got the intuitive nudge to shut them all down and just disconnect from all of them. And logically, it almost feels like, now you're not putting yourself out there. How are you going to meet the one? But her intuition told her to, and she did. And we were talking about how, like, she could meet someone at a baseball game, or she could meet someone at work, or a friend of a friend, or in Starbucks. Like, it's not just the dating app. And so for her, the universe was saying, like, close this down. And that won't be the same. Maybe the universe for you is saying, get on a dating app, like, to direct you to the one. So you have to listen to that intuition. So the third thing is that the universe is calling you to pay deeper attention to your intuition, and to know that it is your guides and angels directly speaking to you. Why would we not want to pay attention? So backing on the last point, have trust and faith in your intuition as well. And then the last thing that the universe is calling you to do right now is to step into your purpose. And everybody loves to talk about purpose, and it's just so powerful. So the universe is calling you to step deeper into your purpose, and your purpose is interconnected with everything you do and everything you already are. It is the essence of who you are. You cannot endlessly search for your purpose like you're on a scavenger hunt. It's already inside of you. Your purpose is already you. When you're searching frantically for your purpose, it's like a carrot at the end of the stick, or whatever that is, where it's out in front of you and you just keep running, trying to find it, but you never catch it. And I always love to say this, your purpose is not like lost keys in the couch. You don't just go, sweet, I found my purpose right behind the couch, it was in the cushions or whatever. That's not how it works. Your purpose is within you, and the universe is calling you to recognize that, to stop searching for your purpose and start being your purpose. So your purpose isn't what you do, it's who you're being. So I love to help people, and I've been put here as an activator, but being in purpose isn't fixated on me doing one thing. It's not this podcast that makes me in purpose. It's not the private clients that makes me in purpose. It's not my manifestation coloring book or the book I'm writing. My purpose is all of them and none of them. As long as I am showing up in true authenticity, doing what I'm called to do, being who I truly am without trying to be more like this manifestation teacher or this mom or this other person, when I'm listening to the whispers of my soul, I am in purpose. So I can be in purpose at the grocery store or recording this podcast, and I can be out of purpose recording a podcast as well. I could be out of integrity with who I truly am. I could be going, okay, what do people need to hear? And okay, I'll teach about this because that's what they're asking for, even though it's not precious on my heart and I don't even really know much about it. Now I'm not in purpose, but I'm recording a podcast. It's nothing to do with what I'm doing. It is who I am being. Your purpose is so much bigger than a job or a career, and Spirit is calling you to understand this. And there's levels of your purpose. So we have to detach from what we do for a living being our purpose, and knowing that they can come together at some point. When you're like a lot of my clients that either have a business or are being called to do a business, You will. And that is that calling on your heart on purpose, but it's not the same thing. And we can't enmesh the two, because if you feel like you're looking for a certain job to be your purpose, for a title for you to sink into, you're going to miss it, because it's more about using your soul gifts than trying to become something. It's not about getting it right or wrong. It's about tuning into your soul and the deeper levels of who you are to discover all you're meant to be. So the universe is calling you deeper into who you are. Be more authentically you. That's why in my signature program, Activated, week 1 is activating the whole authentic self. That's what I do with my clients right in the beginning. We need to know who you truly are, your core values, your essence, because that is the building blocks of your purpose. So I believe that there's many levels of purpose. So there is the highest purpose. And as a human, it is here to evolve. Our highest purpose is to evolve, to ascend out of our suffering, to remember that we are spirit, and to learn how to truly experience pleasure and miracles and joy. I really believe that our highest purpose is done over many lifetimes. When we're a new soul, we are working toward that higher purpose of becoming an old soul, of evolving, of transcending our suffering, remembering we're spirit, really experiencing abundance and miracles and joy. That is our highest purpose. So our main goal over hundreds or thousands of lifetimes, whatever it is for us to master these things. So a lot of this is understanding that a lot of lifetimes we haven't figured this out, but you are in a lifetime where you're here to ascend into your highest purpose, which is transcending that suffering, which is remembering that you are spirit. That's why you're drawn to manifestation. So our highest purpose over all these lifetimes is to connect and to ascend and to transcend what we have been through into higher consciousness. And like most lifetimes, we don't do that. A lot of people will not transcend into higher consciousness in this lifetime because they still need to grow on a soul level. That's why some people can be lost in addiction and never get out, or never sort of quote unquote figure it out. That's normal. And you've had many lifetimes like that as well. So have I. But we are here in this lifetime to move into this higher purpose. So our highest purpose as a human is to evolve. And beyond evolving, it's to remember that we are spirit, therefore remembering who we truly are and to be that essence. So I love to use my dad as an example because he's really creative. He does pottery. And since, forever in my life, and since I'm sure before I was around, people love him. He is a hilarious, free-spirited, joy spreader. And it's hard to pinpoint how he does this or why this is the way he is. But everywhere he goes, he leaves this energy with people. And people are like, oh, John Wright, I love him. And they just love my dad. And I'm so blessed and so lucky. And so when I was growing up, he did a few things before I was born. But when I was growing up, he was a letter carrier, like a postie, and he delivered the mail. He was a mailman, and he had benefits. He had good pay. We went on a couple trips a year. He had, we had medical, dental, blah, blah, blah. He got to get up early in the morning, which he was a morning person. He'd be off by noon. So when I lived with him and through high school, we still got lots of time together. He got, statutory holidays, or we call them statutory, like Christmas and all that, off. He got good pay, blah, blah, blah. So his job was never the purpose. He wasn't meant to be a mailman, but he created a situation where he was allowed to be who he was. He was in safety and security with a good, secure job. He walked a lot. He walked for hours a day. So up until he retired, he was so fit and so healthy. And all of that allowed him to be the joy spreader. So his ultimate purpose was to spread joy and humor and to leave that imprint on people and ultimately be in purpose, which is like how Source made him with this energy. So the purpose isn't the job. The universe is calling you into deeper purpose of realization of who you truly are. And the fact that you are made the way you are made when you are in your sort of quote unquote best feeling time, or when you're feeling really good, the essence you bring to a room. And this isn't about trying to feel good all the time. I'm just saying you have gifts within you. And it's not attached to a career to be your purpose. It's remembering who the fuck you are and that you are co-creating with spirit. So then there is also, there's other layers of purpose, but that's not what this episode is about. But there's also your earth purpose. And that's another thing that Source is calling you into, which is more the thing that you think of with like, what am I meant to do? And the way that I look at this is your earth purpose is about spreading a message on earth. So what you offer earth and your fellow humans. So Source is calling you, Spirit is calling you to contribute to the human evolution, to be an energetic imprint on the world. And this can be being a cashier, being a mom, being a dad, being a coach, being a healer, being a teacher, being a therapist, being a construction worker. It doesn't matter, again, the job, but it's about spreading that joy, spreading your essence, helping others, being generous, being a positive, loving light on this world and in this world. So I know a lot of you want to turn your purpose or want to do something that helps other people, or you're already doing that. And that is part of, what I see as why we're here is to learn and to open ourselves up more to spirit, to abundance, to love, and then share that with the world. As we overcome something, we share with our fellow humans. There's other men and women that have been through what you've been through that need help. But why I say you can do this as a cashier or anything else is it's not about like, if you're a cashier and you're not just like, oh, tell me about your childhood and, oh, I was adopted too. It's not always sharing your story in deep conversation. It can be just spreading light. We all know the cashier or the gas station person or the teacher or the person walking down the street that just made you smile because you can tell they're enjoying life. So that is part of your earth purpose, is to spread your unique light. Everybody already has it within them. It's your humor, it's your bubbliness, or it's your shyness, it's your timidness, it's your sensitivity, it's your nurturing, it's your get shit done inspiring energy, it's your healing ability. It's all of the things that are already within you. It's your optimistic view on life. It's your way of relating to people and being empathetic. That is you living your earth purpose. So I'm really going to encourage you, because the universe is calling you to be more of that. Can you do that when you're checking your mail? Can you do that in the grocery store? Focus on emanating and putting out a high frequency energy, lighting everybody around you up with purpose, with love, with source energy, with joy and positivity, right? So it's your family, it's your friends, it's the person, in your neighborhood, and asking yourself, what are my biggest gifts? In what way do I positively impact others? And in what way do my gifts serve others? In what ways do I light up friends and family? Or in what ways do I have the ability to make a positive impact on other people? And sometimes it's a compliment to someone or letting someone go ahead of you in line. The other day I was waiting in a really long washroom line, and there was a little old lady that I could tell probably needed to go more urgently than me. And I just said, do you want to go in front of me? Because I was almost at the front and I don't give a F what people behind me thought. But she was like, yes, thank you so much. And I was just thinking that's just me being a lovely human. How do we be more of that? How can we be more of a light to the people around us? So this brings us into why the universe is calling you into all of these things. And the bigger layer into all of these things is that the world needs your light. The world needs more people living in their joy, in their abundance, in their purpose. We're going through a weird time, a transitional time in history. We're moving into deeper levels of energy changing, and everything is flipping upside down and things are falling away. And it's going to get better as we raise the consciousness of the planet. But we do this by individually doing this work, by individually stepping into these deeper levels of connection with spirit, of connection with joy, of our intuition, of trust, of faith, of peace and contentment. You are worth it. We all need you. We all need all of us activating our own lights and really awakening to what's more, because by leaning into who you truly are, by being authentically you, by having that faith and trust and acting along with your intuition, you help others to do the same. By being in your truth, you show others that it's safe to do the same. And humanity is going through a giant death and rebirth. Things are coming up. Old ways are being dismantled. Things are crumbling. We're raising into higher consciousness. And we need you to be awake and aware of this process so that you can help usher us into a new wave of light. This is also how you manifest the things you desire, the life of freedom, the life of abundance, the life of joy and contentment. This is what your soul signed up for in this experience. You came here to be a soldier of the light, to carve that path. You came here to overcome and heal and rise up into that joy and freedom. And when you do this, you show others how to live in that rather than force and anxiety and panic. When you just make eye contact or let someone go in line with you. Or, the other day I was at the grocery store and this dad behind me, I just was paying and I only had a few things. He only had a couple things. He was behind me in line and he all of a sudden started patting his butt pockets, for lack of better words. He's like, "Oh no, I forgot my wallet," to these two little kids. And he's like, "Oh, we have to go home and get it." And they just had it was a hot summer day. They had fudgicles and romaine lettuce. I could totally tell it was dinner. Anyway, I just said, "Can I just pay for that? And you can e-transfer me or whatever." And he's just like, "Oh, really? Oh my goodness, I was going to go home." And I was like, no, I got this. And although that sounds like a very ordinary thing to do to help out your feather human, before I had that energetic space within me, I would shy away and I'd have an inner voice being like, offer your hand. You could help. But I'd kind of not want to be weird. I didn't want to draw attention to myself. And I didn't really have the confidence to even just be like, "Hey, let me get this." And "Oh yeah, no worries." And hold my space and be that person. And now I can, because I've stepped more deeply into who I am and into my light. So really, the biggest layer here is we need you stepping into your light, and people will be moved by your presence. People will be moved by your light. And the more people that are moved, the more people awaken into this more peaceful and cooperative way of doing things. The more happy, content, generous, and awake people that live here on earth, the greater impact we have and the wider it spreads. So as a human species, we need to realize that the power to change our life is in our hands, right? Talking to the man in the mirror, be the change. We need to come back into right relationship and harmony with nature, with the death and rebirth cycle, with connection to spirit, with our intuition, with trust and faith, and realize that this is a co-creative experience with Source, with God. And in this human lifetime, we are in for a great journey of learning, of overcoming, and reaching into more joy and contentment. And this is what ascends us into higher ground. So you are in a great awakening in your soul's journey, in your own journey. This is the path to the manifestations and being all that you're meant to be. So to wrap up this episode, the universe is calling you more than ever before to, number one, find that connection, develop that unique connection to spirit in all the ways that I offer. Number two, to have more trust and faith in divine timing in this lifetime, starting to dive deeper into that trust and faith. I trust the flow of life. I have faith that this is somehow working for me. I am open source instead of controlling and manipulating and resisting. Number three, the universe is calling you deeper into levels of intuition, your guides and angels trying to talk directly to you. Sounds like a pretty useful skill to me, calling you to dive deeper into that. And number four is your unique purpose, being who you are. If you have the gift of humor, be that. If you have a big, beautiful mouth, smile, my love. If you have an outrageous, contagious laugh, laugh. If you have the gift of positivity and generosity, be that heart to your family, to the people in your neighborhood, to the people in the grocery store, to your children, to your friends. Be that light, and you will inspire others to do the same. You will also co-create that experience that you see in your mind's eye with the freedom, with the vacations, with the money. It's about something so much bigger. And when you step into that bigger essence, you become magnetic and you get to have that life that you see in your mind's eye. So I hope that this episode has served you, my love. I can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. Make sure to check below for the Get Unblocked, helping you to clear the resistance and connect deeper into spirit. As well as down there's lots of ways to connect, to get a free gift for leaving a review on the podcast, which I so sincerely, from the bottom of my soul, appreciate so much. There's a link for that. There's a link for some free gifts because I love to support you and help you. So check the link, check the show notes. There's all sorts of goodies back there and down there. Okay, have a fantastic day, my love. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. And before we go, I want to ask you a question. Have you grabbed your copy yet of Manifest This Shit? Manifest This Shit is a law of attraction coloring and activity book available on Amazon, and I am so excited about it. It is packed with beautiful, inspiring coloring pages, manifestation practices, tools, places to make notes and lists and write down your intuitive hits. There's so many beautiful pages in there. It's the perfect addition to your daily practice. So whether you use it to pass time instead of being on your phone, or you use it as a creative ritual, this book has pages for everybody. I know you're going to love it. So grab Manifest This Shit on Amazon. The link is below in the show notes.